side, baby, what's your angle? No, it's just a good time.
Hey, what's up? Wagwan. This is Vonnie G, also known as Vibe, and tuning in to you. I feel like this video or the topic in this is past due, but at the same time, I feel like it's on time when we're talking about measuring it according to, I guess, my true ability to be able to be as transparent and open as possible. I unfortunately do a lot of, I sit back and I observe different people's opinions and things people say in general, whether they are directed towards me or not. And when it comes down to people that I love, I do a lot of listening. Probably more listening than I actually should be, when I should be doing things for myself. So doing this is one of those things that I know I wanted to do for myself, but in listening to other people, it has prevented me from doing so, prevented me from moving forward with it. And I should have listened more to my inner voice, because there's a lot of different ways that I heal that's non-traditional to the next person. The ways that I heal are not detrimental to anybody else. If anything, it would be detrimental towards myself if someone were to look at it in that view. But definitely I do the best that I can to not hurt anyone else along the way. But sometimes when you get too deep into the voices in your own head, you do end up hurting other people. And it's time to put an end to that. It's time to put an end to that in this immediate moment, to make sure that not only am I giving grace to myself, but giving grace to those I love as well. First things first, I don't feel like this channel nor anything about me is about controversy. I may have a very humorous way of getting certain messages across, but that's only if you know and understand my sense of humor. There's two instances that had occurred. One, I had presented a video regarding pulling out on a K1 visa. I did not mean that in a humorous way whatsoever, but I meant that and shared that story in being transparent and open in regards to the miscommunications that occur in relationships, not just intra-cultural relationships, but relationships in general. Also wanted to make sure that I was focusing subject matter of my channel so that you can see the ups and downs, the highs and lows regarding, again, relationships. Being in an intracultural relationship is already something, and it's already a challenge to begin with. For the simple fact, I was born in the United States. I was born in America, however way you want to say it. But in America, there are not traditional values, especially as a Black woman. As a Black woman, you have so many different other cultures that make you, define you. And your family could have had you coming from a mass variety of these different cultures or whatever. They basically have brought you up off of their own experiences, which can include coming up on their own traumas. And so when you go to present yourself to somebody in a country that actually has, semi-set values, semi-set thoughts, and semi-set beliefs, it's a battle all the time. It's a battle because here I am fighting internally to try to explain and share with, him on who I am, what I am, then he's trying to present himself as what he is as a part of his culture that he was brought up on. And we're just like missing each other left and right until we're able to just kind of sit and, I don't know, just collaboratively come up with some type of agreement, you know? It's complicated. And not only is it complicated, it could feel a little lonely. It could feel a little lonely, especially like persons like myself. I identify with multiple cultures as just instead of just calling or considering me a Black American. I'm a Black American in physical stance. You know, I'm a Black American as that. But as far as being like, you know, you're a Black American woman and these are your beliefs, it's not. That's absolutely incorrect. There's more to me than me just being a Black American woman in the way that my mindset goes, in the way that my feelings are, in the way that I accept and embrace others, and all of that. I am Yvonne, first and foremost. There's nothing else to add to it. And it becomes exhausting. It's exhausting. It's already exhausting enough being a Black female, man, in the freaking United States of America. Every day you wake up in this battle trying to be something that you feel is authentically yourself, but you're being pulled and pushed in so many other directions. You got a job that you work for endlessly. You commit to them day in and day out. You're too Black, too Black. So you go to that job, you fit the mold of what you need to be in order to be successful, get your check, and go the fuck home. Then you go home. Depending on what you're going home to, man, I couldn't imagine going home to children, especially in this day and age right now. Like, going home to children, on one hand, it would be cool because you can be able, as a parent, to instill all these different values and cultural beliefs into your child, to let them grow up so that they can choose which direction they want to go into, rather than dealing with the teachings that you received growing up yourself, based on a whole bunch of childhood and traumatic events and lies, deceit, all of that stuff. Don't force me to be anything. Allow me to be able to feel what I feel and be more comfortable with. So then, as a Black American woman, you come across your different friends. Your different friends who come from a mass variety of backgrounds and beliefs. It's easier for me to cling to friendships of people that know who they are culturally than it is for me to cling to friendships of people who are finding themselves as well. I don't negate clinging to people and friendships that are finding themselves because I'm in this mission myself. However, it's a bit more of a challenge to be able to connect, because unless we are successfully finding out who we are and successfully putting ourselves into that mold and into that role, we're both fighting this battle, this endless battle. And it doesn't do anything but hurt and harm us emotionally and mentally. When we're hurt emotionally and mentally, does nothing but allow us to hurt others emotionally and mentally as well along the way. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I say this as a citizen of the United States of America. This shit ain't all that it's cracked out to be. It's hard. It's hard, and how dare you? How dare you? But all I could do is move forward and find me, embrace me, love me, and find and embrace other people who love and embrace me for who I am versus what you see on the exterior. There's so much more to me. So we expand upon the different things regarding, I don't know, finding yourself in intercultural ways. Um, like I said, it's one thing when you're able to come home after work pretending to be this type of person. You come home, you're another type of person. You hang with your friends, you're a different type of person. Hang with your family, and don't let your family come from multiple areas of different types of cultures, because then you got to be this type of person with this side of the family, that type of person with that side of the family. All of that, you just become so exhausted in this clusterfuck of being so many different roles in so many different places. So then when you go to try to explain who and what you are to a person that may have only been brought up traditionally in one culture, they don't understand. They don't understand. And it's nothing bad on them. It's just that's the way that we were brought up. I can do everything on my part to explain it to this other person, as much as I possibly can. But my God, I never realized how tiring it was until I started trying to explain it to somebody else. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm tired because I wear so many different hats all the time. So I don't know. All we can do is do better. But in doing better is just being able to collectively come together and understand each other. Now, even in the United States, say you dating somebody, like I'm gonna use myself in the United States, dating a Jamaican man. Now, with me dating a Jamaican man in the United States, that man embraced and linked and clutched on to me a whole lot more than he was able to clutch on to other women in the United States, because he felt that I was more of a home feel for him. So it was easier for these men in this Jamaican culture, for example, and it wasn't even just Jamaican, because I was with the man that was Nigerian. I was with the man that was, oh my gosh, he was like a mixture of things, but something, I don't know. He was somewhere, a few different places or cultures in Africa, but we were able to come together in a better way. He was quick to want to introduce me to his mother, to his family, because these men felt like she fits more and makes me feel more like home. So then you're like, okay. At first it was a little confusing, but then realizing what cultures that I connect to and click to more, I noticed that they were within these cultures that felt that they decided to feel more home out of me. I don't know. Child, But but yeah, that's how that worked, being in the United States and finding or dating men from different cultures. Then, with men that were fighting to find out who they were, or they had no interest in finding out who they were beyond being a Black American man, we couldn't connect. We could not connect whatsoever. I connected more with a Black American man that was also open to finding out who he was and more in tune of who he was outside of just being a Black American man than I connected with a man that we went to the same schools, we went to the same, you know what I mean? We were around the same crowds and all of that stuff. I had more in common with this man that was a Black American man reaching and identifying himself beyond that title than I could ever relate with this Black American man who was just cool with being who he was. Like I said, it's hard when you're going at and for people that are also trying to find themselves because you're missing. There's a continuous disconnect. Um, I don't know. That's not easy. It's not easy whatsoever. So then when I knew and found out in my journey that I had no interest in keeping my life or everything about my life within the United States, it was easier for me to be able to go over to, be in a country like Jamaica and say, you know what, I easily embrace everything around me, including relationships. It's a continuous learning curve, but I openly embrace it. I welcome it. When you welcome learning curves or welcome being able to dive deep into what makes you you in regards to speaking to the opposite person or whatnot, it makes it easier. It doesn't make it easy, but it makes it easier. Now, having certain conversations with the different men, you got to understand as well that regardless of them all coming from one culture, they're individuals. I would rather look at you as an individual versus just to draw you into this bucket of being titled a Jamaican man. Like, I can't just focus on you being a Jamaican man or him being a Jamaican man when there's so much more that makes him. Because then you also have to take into consideration the class that they, were born and raised in, the location within the country that they were born and raised in, the different, what tools that they were provided, education, work, the jobs, like everything. There's so many different things again that make up an individual versus just that person being labeled as a Jamaican man. So I don't care for somebody telling me, dealing with a Jamaican man is like this versus dealing with an American man, because that's not necessarily true. I can't go out here and treat every person the exact same. Like, you just can't do that. I damn sure don't want nobody doing that. Don't come treating me like every American woman or every Black American woman that you've ever come across, because we're not the same. We are different. Individually, we are definitely different. So I just can't do that. I wanted this recording to tie into some more things that I really wanted to get off of my chest, but I see I'm going to separate it into a different video so that I can label it accordingly. That way you're not fishing through to find out what exactly I'm trying to say in another topic relative to what I feel like speaking on today. I feel like this video in particularly is just as important as the other, for the simple fact that you have to tie it all together to get a better understanding of where I'm coming from mentally and emotionally. I know there's a lot of different things that I post or have posted on this channel that, I don't know, you could take however you want. I can show you so many beautiful things, but being able to speak and express myself is more so of what this channel is about, so that you can get to know me as an individual person. I feel like I have neglected to do so fully. I mean, there are some things I've spoken on and you can see me, but I also feel like there's often times where I kind of hold back because, I don't know, fear of judgment. But that stops here. That stops here. So thank you for tuning in, for watching this so far. I appreciate you tremendously. You may see a few videos posted today. I'm just in my feels and just feel like sharing. All right. But anywho, if you are not subscribed to my channel, when you hit the subscribe button, what happens is that you are notified by YouTube anytime that I do post new content, instead of just having to constantly check back or questioning, like, I wonder what happened to Vibe. Like, I'm still here, baby. I'm still here. Plus, I like when you like my videos. It helps me and YouTube know that this is the type of content that you do appreciate. You would like to see more from me. I can't tell unless you let me know. So either comment or like it. But regardless of what you do, if you are interested in following me and my journey, because I will be sharing more. I will be sharing more on my journey of what I am going through. This isn't something that ends today. It's an ongoing mission of healing and just transitioning my life to where it better serves me mentally, emotionally, physically, and all of that. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Bye.
Tell me what's your table, numbers on the net again, yeah, we gon' lap them. In the set, one set, high tap dance, spin about the bands. Yeah. Backstage, meet the band. Yeah. Press pass, head on my chest.